y'all. Like they should make the playoffs. I'm just kind of looking at, shit, y'all do the Jets, the Patriots, and
The
y'all got
Bills.
Buffalo in y'all division.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I think y'all should be right there behind Buffalo. I think y'all honestly probably end up. I don't have a clue what y'all's schedule look like. Probably 2 games behind Buffalo.
The only reason I didn't have Cleveland on my list is because I think Deshaun Watson's going to be
Yeah,
suspended.
that's why I didn't have them either. He will be suspended.
And with
Oh,
no
you will?
Baker Mayfield, they're looking at, I think, Jacoby Brissett is their
Jacoby said, yeah,
Yeah.
backup.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just don't know if they're going to win enough games to make the playoffs.
It's all going to depend on, like you say, the schedule. So if he misses 8 or 9 games, would be half of the season. If he misses that amount of games, if Brissett can hover 500,
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
just
Like,
depends on how good they can be.
because if they have a lot of their division games, but let's say that they play 4 out of their 6 division games within the first 8 games, then yeah, they're probably going to be in trouble. But if he comes out, better than 500 after playing, 4 division games, like they going to be tough to deal with.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Now, as far as other NFL news go, we've seen players come out and say things that are just feel as if that, it's starting to feel like it's getting the NBA vibes now where players are taking more control of their own destinies and legacies. So, in recent memory, we know there are 3-star caliber receivers that are out right now and said they will not be participating in team activities. AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, and most notably Debo Samuel. And Stiz, I want to start with you on this one. So you can speak on whoever guy you want out of those 3, but who do you believe is in the right or the wrong in these situations in terms of the organizations and the players?
Okay, so with AJ Brown, it was specifically he wasn't participating in team activities, but he still wants to be on the roster, right?
Yeah, he still wants to be on the team. He still wants to play, but he
Yeah.
just wants an extension. That's honestly what it comes down to.
The rumor is that they offered him $20 million a year, and he wants more than that.
Okay, and then Debo's situation is he just wants to be traded. He don't give a damn about the money. He just wants to be traded.
Yes.
Exactly.
He
Okay,
said,
who?
"Don't even make an offer. I want to be traded."
Okay, and the third guy was who?
Terry
DK
McLaurin.
Metcalf, which is just
It's Terry
Okay,
McLaurin.
Yeah, DK. Yeah, you should want him. You should want out. Like you shouldn't want anything to do with that situation. I don't know if he's asking for an extension or if he just wants out, but just go. You know what I'm saying? For AJ Brown, if they're not bringing Julio back, yeah, I want some more money. I can completely.
Oh, they already
understand.
released Julio. That's done.
That's what I'm saying. So if I want some more money, like that means my role is about to go back to what it was transitioning to be in the first place, and I want more money. And then Debo, I don't know where this came from. He was there when they went to the Super Bowl. He was there last year. When they had another chance to make it back, and you're saying now that you want out. Like what happened between I guess February or late January and right now to where you're so adamant about leaving?
Right.
from what I've heard with Debo is that he wants to be either paid like a wide receiver and a running back, or he wants to just be a wide receiver. And they basically said, we're going to use you however we want. Here's a giant contract. And he said, no, trade me. That one's
I can understand that because he's taking a lot of. He was their offense essentially. He's taking a lot
Exactly.
of pulling routes out and screens and stuff like that out of the backfield. So it's the Jimmy Graham situation. When he first left New Orleans, he wanted to be paid like a wide receiver because of the amount of time they lined him up in the slot. They said no. He said, all right, I want to be gone. So I agree. If he wants to just be a receiver, but they don't want him to be, then you need to pay him like he's receiver/running back.
Right. And I'm going to just piggyback on the Debo Samuel situation because I think it's just absolutely asinine and absurd that this guy's been receiving death threats from the fan base and from whoever the hell else that's been in connection with this team, to the point where his own family had to take social media and basically defend his honor. And I just think that's absolutely terrible. And if I'm being honest with you all, I think he not only deserves to leave that situation, but he needs to at this point. Because to me, there's no recovering from this, from his perspective with this team and from their perspective. This is a team that use this guy. His usage rate was by far the highest in the league. He by far led the league in touches and scrimmage yards. I mean, I'm talking about it's not close. And this is a guy that said that he simply wants to be compensated as such, which he should be. Because Deebo Samuel is looking at it from this perspective. I've already missed I think he missed 13 games through 3 years now. He's looking at it from the perspective that my clock is ticking. I'm not going to be 25, 26 forever. I understand that. They understand that. So I need to utilize my skill set and what I can do now for what I can get out of it. And the issue with that is the 76, not 76, the 49ers looking at it from this perspective that we are not going to give you this contract because, simply put, we believe you are a receiver, but whatever you could do to help us win, that's what we're going to do. And he simply is not going for it, which I completely commend him for, because he shouldn't.
His cap hit this season is almost $5 million. His base salary is right up under $4 million. So like I'm with him. Y'all aren't about to use and abuse me, and if I get injured and try to come back, and he is the second best weapon in the NFL behind Lamar Jackson. So I don't understand. Again, from the team's perspective, I get what you want cheap labor. You know, you want to use and abuse a player for as cheap as possible, but and then not have to pay him potentially when it's all said and done. But you're using me. My usage rate is the highest in the NFL, and I have the most yards from scrimmage. Pay me. There are receivers that only catch the ball, and they're getting 25 plus minutes. Amari Cooper and Jones, Julio Jones, 25, 30 million, and you're only catching the ball. You're not even bringing it out of the backfield. So I would definitely say he's extremely underpaid.
I mean, there's a ton of teams that make no sense to me why they're not immediately calling any of these three teams and saying, I'll give you my first-round draft pick.
Right.
The Jets.
I know the Jets and the Packers are in talks for Deebo Samuel. I know that for a fact.
The Jets should call Seattle and say, I'll give you your number 10 back for DK. And then Seattle would have 9 and 10 in this year's draft. And yeah, like, if I'm Green Bay, who also has 2 first-round draft picks, or the Chiefs, who also have 2 first-round draft picks, go get one of these guys. What are we doing?
Right, I agree
Green
with
Bay,
that.
no. Anybody else, yeah.
You're Green Bay, you wouldn't give up the 28th pick in the first round after your drafting history, which is god-awful.
But that's what I was just about to say. They groom in-house. Those guys that you're naming, yeah, they're top tier and would take for sure. They would have beaten this San Francisco team with those guys. But Green Bay is a very in-house team. They try to groom from within, and if you play 2 or 3 years on the bench and then you get to start, like, I like their formula, and with a coach like LaFleur, they don't need to be giving away draft picks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, in my personal opinion, though, if I'm Green Bay, if I could get Deebo Samuel or even DK Metcalf for 2 firsts or 1 first, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. I'm trading for both of them. I mean, that's just me personally, but I don't know, man. I mean, they can grow in-house all they want to, but at the end of the day, it hasn't gotten them anything, and they've had 2 generational quarterbacks. I mean, you had 2 quarterbacks who are bona fide Hall of Famers easily in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And these guys together in about almost 30 years, if not 30 years of playing with the Packers, they produced you 2 rings. I mean, don't tell me that's just because they're not getting it done. At some point, the organization has to look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, what the hell are we not doing? Because how much better can you get than that? I mean, it's teams that can't even find 1 true franchise quarterback in the existence of the franchise. They found 2. So it's like, how much better can you get from that? And at some point, they got to be honest with themselves. But outside of those receivers, though, Terry McLaurin is also a guy that's not coming to the camp and not participating in, team activities and etc. So speaking on Terry McLaurin specifically, Alex, what is your thoughts on how that would play out with Washington?
Probably the same. I don't think they're going to want to pay him, and I think he probably deserves the money more than two of the guys on this list. I think he's played with probably the worst quarterbacks of anybody on this list.
Yo, that's easily.
With a lot of production, I think he should be signed just like how DJ Moore was signed with Carolina, because they're pretty much in similar situations where they had no quarterback play around them. And DJ Moore got a bag, and Terry McLaurin's going to be sitting there without his money, and he's going to want it. So I'm all for him sitting out to go get his money.
Right. What about you, Stitch?
I get to watch him maybe 2 games this season because he plays for Washington. So, being a Dallas fan, he hasn't done anything to really impress me. He is a good receiver. I mean, we'll see. I had to come look at his statistics. If you can put up 1,000 yards at Washington, that does say something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, easily. I'm talking. I mean, the quarterbacks he's had is who? Tyler Heineke. Who else been there? Oh my God, I can't even remember all the people that's been
Alex Smith. I was really trying to think like
Alex Smith. Yeah, Alex Smith, Tyler Heineke. I know Ryan Fitzpatrick was just there, but I think he only played like what, 3 games?
Yeah.
Did Haskins?
Yeah. Kyle Allen.
Dwayne Haskins, yeah.
Terrible quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like so, I do get it. I just.
Are you worried
to be
about?
sold on him, I'd have to see him play with a better quarterback.
Are you worried about CD wanting his money?
No. Why be concerned? They're gonna pay him.
He's gonna want his money.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna pay CD, man.
Listen, I disagree strongly with the whole $25-30 million receiver. You know, I didn't want to pay Amari Cooper $20 million.
I mean, Dallas just gives out bad contracts. That's the only reason I was.
Because they're always in a bad situation. You know, with Tyron Smith and the other 2 other linemen wanted their contract. It was like, well, if you don't pay us, what are you gonna do? I don't.
Well, no, pay your offensive lineman. Your biggest mistake was paying Ezekiel Elliott.
Definitely, that's 100%.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper, they all got $20 million plus a year.
I'm a big proponent of never pay a running back money.
But you see, my thing with the Amari Cooper situation, I can agree that he probably did not deserve the $20 million per season. But a lot of people try to rag on him and say he wasn't the guy that they paid him to be, and I think a lot of that has to do with the scheme they run. Because I think there were a lot of – because he actually expressed, as you would know as a Dallas fan, he actually expressed how frustrated he was with not getting calls his way a lot. And if I'm your guy, I should have at least 10 to 15 plays a game where it is guaranteed I'm touching the ball.
But
like,
okay, so that's the problem. And that's why I said that I didn't agree with those contracts, because you say if he's that guy, he's supposed to get that ball at him out, right? Well, if that's the case, I shouldn't have a $20 million receiver, an $18 million running back, and a $45 million quarterback. Because what I'm essentially saying is a quarterback is so important that he's going to elevate the talent around him, then I overpay the talent around him. I would rather go get a tight end. You know, I'm not looking for the next Jason Witten, but go get me something that's going to alleviate the need for a $20 million receiver or a $18 million running back.
So
essentially, they would have what Cedric Wilson would have got a new contract. Like if Dallas fans got their way, Cedric Wilson would have got a new contract. CD gets an extension. You keep a $20 million receiver and an $18 million running back. That doesn't make sense after you've paid your quarterback $45 million.
So let me. The only realistic Dallas fan I've ever met, where you're like, this team is horribly run. We have no chance.
I've met some realistic Dallas fans, but I give it to Stiz. I think Stiz is the most sane one.
You said what is the most insane one?
I said I think you're the most sane Dallas fan I ever have met. I will give you that for sure.
It does make me sick that the Miami Dolphins on this podcast are the best team.
God dang, why I gotta be like that?
I have no quarterback, so like, what am I supposed to say? I have Sam Darnold.
I mean, yeah, it honestly feels good knowing my team the best between some people now.
I'm sitting here hoping we trade for Baker Mayfield. Like, that's how down bad I am.
Ooh, yeah, bro. Listen,
I'm sitting here going, please, let's just give up a 5th rounder to go get Baker.
Yeah.
Baker's not a bad quarterback. I just think he needs a lot of development.
Well, my options are Baker Mayfield or Kenny Pickett because they're not going to do the right thing and draft Malik Willis. So
Yeah.
go get me an offensive lineman and give me Baker Mayfield. And let's wait for Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud to come out next year.
Right, but
That's what my life is for the next week.
I actually got a question for you though, Stiz, because you had said something about this. So you said you would rather pay the tight end versus paying the $20 million receiver, correct?
Well, yeah, but I'm not. I mean, so hell, they got Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz. Neither one of those guys are going to be like, oh yeah, pay him a lot of money. Like they ended up paying Schultz just now or whatever. But
Right.
if you go get a again, I don't need a Hall of Fame a tight end like we had in Jason Witten, but I do need something to kind of, like say, alleviate the pressure that's put on to our quarterback and our receivers. And it's so much.
Dallas needs somebody like when Carolina went out and got Greg Olsen for Cam Newton.
Yes.
They need somebody like that. So they need like a mid-tier. Like if they went out and got Mark Andrews, that's a really good pickup.
Exactly. Now, and again, Mark Andrews, Pro Bowler and All-Pro team.
Well,
so
yeah,
like,
the tight end position is terrible right now.
Yeah. So I know you'd have to give up an arm and leg for him, but I'm just saying, like, Dallas has always, year in and year out, they draft tight ends. Somewhere between the 4th and the 6th round, they're going to get a tight end. So my thing is, you could have found, I'm not saying the next George Kittle, but you could have found somebody of quality caliber at this point. But I do not believe targeting a receiver over and over again, trying to get him into the game, trying to get him, his touches because of how much he's getting paid. That was the Julio situation. That was the Odell situation. And that's probably about to become the Tyreek and A.J. Brown situation.
Now, see, but that's where I kind of disagree, because in this league, this is a receiver-driven league. I mean, I don't know about you all, but to me, in my personal opinion, I think receivers are easily the most talented position in football right now. There's no doubt in my mind that there aren't 20 receivers around the league right now that could not go for over 1K yards in a season if they truly had the quarterback to do so.
I agree, but I also would say that they're one of the most replaceable positions.
Yes, that is true as well.
Receivers are coming out every single year in the draft.
That's true as well. But at the same time, when you look at, let's give an example. When you look at a guy like Tyreek Hill, right? There aren't too many Tyreek Hills out there. Like, guys are not going to just come out and be running sub 4.3s and have the after catchability he has. Because it takes more than just speed to be what Tyreek Hill is. His explosiveness, agility, and IQ and ability, to see the field is what separates him from a lot of other receivers. Now, when you look at a guy, let's say Keenan Allen, a guy like Keenan Allen, very good receiver, but he's replaceable by 80% of the damn league. Another guy, a guy I personally love, and Mike Evans, very good receiver. You could get other guys to give you the production he gives you. So it's not that these guys are just otherworldly, but it's the fact that these guys, to me, in my personal opinion, the receiver position is so vital these days, to the point where it can make or break a roster. And I think the Dallas situation, where they had guys in CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, who arguably were probably the top 3 receiver duo in the league last year, from just a talent perspective, you can give them that. But if you don't have the guy, the problem with me with Dallas is coaching and the quarterback play. I have no gripe against Dak Prescott, but he's not the guy for that team specifically because of what they've invested in him. And that's why I agree with Stiggs. If I'm giving the guy $45-50 million a season, you have to be that guy. I need you to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. You have to be that. You have to play up to that caliber, and he simply has not.
Not anymore. Everybody's going to be getting paid that.
No, but I get that. But what I'm saying is, me personally, if I'm giving a guy that kind of money, I need to see him be like those guys. You don't even need to be those guys specifically. Let's take Joe Burrow, for example. If I can get you to play like Joe Burrow did down the stretches in important games on a consistent basis, you could have the $45 million. Because I know when it matters most, you're going to give it to me when I need it. And I just don't see that from Dak Prescott. And I think that's the biggest issue with the Cowboys.
I don't think. I don't.
Hurt.
You said what?
The season that Dak got hurt, he was playing like a $45 million contract.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's Dak Prescott. His situation is unique because, again, how many other? I think that Kansas City got it right. You don't give your quarterback, a record-breaking contract, as far as the totality, and then turn around and pay a receiver $30 million a year. It's redundant. Like, you're literally saying, well, I have a quarterback that I feel like is so great that he can elevate those around him. I'm going to pay him. Then you also pay the guys that he's supposed to elevate, almost as if to say they're like Tyreek was the reason that Mahomes is playing so well. Like, no, it contradicts itself. You pay one and decide what you're going to do with the other. I think that's the approach that, Dallas probably should have took, but I think that they have poor leverage. I'm going to use the fact that we have Amari Cooper on roster and we're paying him $20 million in CD's situation. Like, all right, we're going to get you this extension, but we're going to sign you for a lot less because, hey, you got competition on the other side of that ball. Or even in the backfield to come out of with Pollard and Zeke. I think that they just have extremely poor leverage. The same thing with Tank when they paid DeMarcus Lawrence. What other pass rusher did they have? Their argument is always going to be, well, if not me, then who? They let Byron Jones go because they couldn't pay everybody.
Well, I know one thing though. I know Dallas is hurting. They're gonna be hurting after they had lost Randy Gregory. I know he's had trouble in his past in terms of like drug tests and stuff like that.
He was our best pass rusher.
But Randy Gregory was by far their best pass rusher. Man.
Who you about to say?
Micah Parsons.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about on the actual line. Michael Parsons is not going to have a career wrestling with 300-pound men pass rushing as much as he did last
year. Yeah, true.
Yeah, he's going to have back injuries and a bunch of other stuff. So
he'll be Vic Beasley if he continues that.
Yes.
Oh yes, for sure. He's a linebacker. He's going to. He can be what. He could honestly be what Shaq Thompson is for Carolina. He could be a guy that can rush the passer some plays because he's a good.
I hope for your sake he's better than Shaq Thompson is.
I'm talking about from a skill set, from a skill set perspective.
Had a lot of help in that backfield. Shaq Thompson by himself is not nearly as good as people think he is.
No, I will agree with that. I don't think he is because I personally thought Shaq Thompson coming out of college should have been a safety. I honestly thought he was a safety.
Well, he played safety in college. He's just too big to play safety now. He's too slow.
Yeah, but you got a lot of in-the-box safeties. Jamal Adams, Mark Barron at one point.
Jeremy Chin to middle linebacker. It is a disaster on defense. We're in shambles. I just want everybody fired and let me go about my life.
Hey, man.
Are you guys, serious question, are you guys excited for the draft?
No. We traded all our draft picks basically, so.
I'm about to say, isn't there like 6 teams that have 2 draft picks in the first round?
Yeah, there's the Jets.
The Eagles got, the Eagles got 3?
They had 3.
The Jets have 2, the Giants have 2, the Saints have 2, the Eagles have 2, the Packers have 2, and the Chiefs have 2.
That's crazy, bro. Like,
there's going to be a lot of trades. I've heard a lot of rumors that DK is getting traded on draft night.
I can see that. But I think a lot of teams.
There's a lot of jaw-dropping trades on draft.
I'll be happy as long as it's not Kenny Pickett to the Carolina Panthers at 6. Anybody other than that, I'm happy.
I think a lot of teams are going to start taking the Rams approach because they see it works. And this is an approach I said a lot of teams should take because if you look around the league, yes, young talent matters, but proven talent is what is going to win you games 9 out of 10 times, and that's going to give you the best chance. To compete. Now,
to a point, because like the Rams have probably 2 years left, and then they're going to be bad because that money's going to catch up at some point.
Right, but that's the thing about having good coaches or great coaches, and Sean McVay.
Yeah, but
people are going to come. They are going to want to come play for him.
But you realize how everybody in Los Angeles is like, oh, I got like 2-3 years left. Like, Aaron Donald's like, I might retire.
Right.
McVay's like, I might retire. It's because they know that team is going downhill quick when that money
moves off of those players early and gets draft picks instead. They can save face. But if they keep those players and then watch them walk, like retire or sign with another team, then yeah, they're gonna be in trouble.
But the problem is, I don't think the only person they can really trade is Ramsey, because I think Aaron Donald would retire.
Now it'll definitely be a one of those, like, all right, we had hopes for a Super Bowl, but just before the trade deadline we started to realize, like, nah, this wasn't.
Oh yeah, they're not getting back. Just like I think we only have 6 minutes left, but I think the Chiefs are missing the playoffs this year.
Listen, I can't argue that. Like right now,
hey,
they're the weakest team in their division.
You might be right, but just to hear that out loud,
they better use both of these. They better use 29 and 30 on back-to-back wide receivers.
But they also need defensive players. So.
Yeah, but I about to say, man, they took a huge blow and they lost Tyrann Mathieu, man. They took a huge blow losing him.
Did he sign anywhere? He's
nah,
still a free agent, right?
He's still a free agent. He actually rumored to go to the Dolphins, just so y'all know.
I was about to say the same thing. They was talking about.
I feel like he's been rumored at every team. He's visited like 5 teams.
Yeah.
He visited the Panthers, he visited the Saints and the Falcons all in 1 week.
I just think it's coming down to what I just think it's coming down to where he wants to go at this point. I think he's weighing his options. It doesn't make sense that he isn't signed at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna wait till after the draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's weird because like the draft is in what, 3 days? It's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's weird because we have no idea who's gonna be the number 1 pick. Like,
this is the first time in a long time where I feel as if no one really cares about what happens draft night.
You shouldn't.
My draft is gonna suck, guys. Carolina has the 6th pick, and then we don't pick again till the end of the 4th round.
Well, at least you got a first-round pick.
You have Tyreek Hill.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I feel better watching Tyreek Hill highlights. I'm okay. I feel a little better. But
I have Sam Darnold and Matt Rule. I would take both of y'all's situations over my situation. And we were supposed to be building a practice facility, and the town stopped paying for it, so now we backed out of that.
That's crazy, bro.
You tell me, man. You should log into my Twitter account because it is insane.
All right, guys, man.
I made all of TikTok angry for like 15 hours.
With the 100 over Mahomes?
Oh my God, I was fighting for my life in that comment section.
Yeah, I seen that, bro.
Bro, the comments on that video, like I was at work and I would log into TikTok for like 2 minutes and I'd have like 150 notifications. I was like, what is happening right now?
Man, you telling me.
I was like, oh damn, I fucked up.
You telling me. I'm already knowing. I seen your comments, man. I seen the video, but
it's on a daily basis. Like it happens with every video I make at this point. Somebody gets mad.
Yeah, that's how it is now. But all right, when I gave my takes on the Celtics versus the Nets series, I ain't catch heat on TikTok for it, but on Facebook and Twitter, yeah, man, people crucified me. Like they just thought I ain't know what the hell I was talking about. And now just like what Stiz is doing, trolling people, I went back and like basically commented on all them comments. Like, yep.
I mean, I duetted one of Stig's TikToks, and they were coming after both me and him in my comment section. They were talking about something about Zion, and they were not happy with either one of us.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just give you the truth, and when it comes to fruition, I just want you to keep the same energy. That's all I have.
I literally just comment, I appreciate your engagement, or thank you for like the 7 cents that you made off this video.
Right, exactly. So, I be doing the same thing when I be stitching y'all videos.
I'll sometimes go in, like I'll take the time to go to your profile and make fun of you if you really want me to. There was this one guy, he got real mad. I said he looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Roseanne Barr had a baby, and he got really mad.
I understand, man. Y'all, trust me, we all done got that flake before. The most heat I got was always and forever be that Mike Evans versus Cooper Kupp debate. Boy, I ain't never seen so many stitches and duets to my video before. People.
I never get like real stitches and duets. It's always like a 6-year-old kid just in his room just mad as hell at my post. Like,
exactly. That's what make it even funnier.
I'm like, dude, relax. You're like 7 years old. Why are you getting so angry?
That's what make it even funnier, man. That's what make it even funnier.
Or I'll get like 50-year-old men that'll just tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Bro, I like I said, I love it. I'm here for all the slander. I want you to tell me I don't know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I enjoy it too. Honestly,
I
it's
made a
honestly
video one time
fun.
about
It's
Tennessee
funny.
football, and I've never seen so much. Like, there was full blown, like, we want this guy dead in those comment sections, basically. And all I said was, like, that Tennessee paid, like, some recruit $8 million to come play for them. And I still get notifications on that video. And it was, like, 3 months ago.
Yeah,
That shit crazy.
that's how it's gonna be, man. But
All right, y'all, we got, like, a minute left. We should probably end this.
yeah, we go. All right, man. So that's it for today, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know, appreciate y'all both being here. We'll do this next Sunday. Give more thoughts on the playoffs and whatever transpires in the NFL offseason.
We got the NFL draft next week.
Oh yeah, man. See, I forgot about it already.
What's your Twitter, Alex?
Mr. Alex Harden.
Okay. And then what's yours, Tavor?
It's my name. It's Tavares Wilson.
Okay. I just follow. I'm finna follow you too.
All right, I'll follow both of y'all too.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
You do the same.